on the top left, we have... I didn't actually catch that person. MVAKM playing as Valdor. And then in the bottom right, we have Saikoya, who's joining me on commentary. So I know that it's a bit awkward to commentate your own games, but we'll try and make this work. So Valdor, I'm interested to know why no Valdor ban on this map.
Well, basically, the map is so big that that Valdor isn't like as strong as on the other maps, and basically, by the time Valdor walks to a village he can attack, he's already at like 60 or 80% groove. So you don't really get mileage out of the first groove. So if you pick Valdor, it's really for the constant sword production.
I'm very curious. Is MVAKM gonna go across the center? He is, and he's gonna hit the village. Ooh.
Yep.
So this is like a very unique play you can do. I've done this a few times with different commanders. You just walk across. I think Nurg has like a decent play out of this as well, but Valdor just immediately gets a sword and can put a lot of pressure on like the enemy stronghold, all of these back villages as well.
Actually, I was ready for this play because he did this in a previous game where basically the village to the right of where, like directly to the right of where Valdor is right now, wasn't capped yet. And then he was able to snag it. And here, because I was already aware of that, I snagged it early. So yeah, that happens. But and so there's actually a lot of game outside of game inside this game. I mean, I can give context because it's my game. Because last set I played, I basically went for a Wulfar cheese, where I sniped the enemy commander from across the map to get an early win on this map, which is quite a feat. So I tried to go for it again, but you know, obviously that's not gonna work when MVAKM is gonna cross the map like that.
Yeah, and I guess like, both of you are probably well aware of what the other person has done previously, so...
We did our homework. And now it's two commanders that really should get a lead early game and kind of struggle later on. And they're now not in the early game.
Yep.
So that...
I guess like Wulfar does have the one big advantage here in that he's very good against like the strong units on the map, although golems don't really have a place you can insta-kill them with Wulfar. So like they have that going for them. But Wulfar does have a lot of threat projection across the map, which I guess like is his big factor.
Yep.
Whereas Valdor doesn't really have that. Valdor has like early game stuff.
Although Valdor has the unit count factory, and he also can he also puts more pressure onto your squishy units like mages and archers, because he can like spawn a sword and hit them from very far away.
Right. Makes sense.
So like, it's not like Valdor is useless after the early game.
Yeah, and I guess if you're in a position where he can just start crushing villages as well, like he could just go, like if you leave him alone on the front, he will build an army himself.
Yep. Alright. So it's actually a pretty positional game so far. We're kind of moving around trying to get some advantage. And I make the first mistake there with the knight. My mage was in range to cover it, but he covers the mage counter, which means I can't punish the dragon for picking my knight off.
Right. Valdor, ooh, actually, I was gonna say like slightly risky position, but no, he's covered it well.
Yep. And here, this is my specialty on this map. Is I put either a commander, a knight, or a golem on the tile that Wulfar is gonna stand on. And this is like the most impossible position to break.
Yeah, because you cannot stop Wulfar. Yeah, you can't like attack from the north. That left hand side is very vulnerable. There's a lot of stuff that can like counter attack. Like if you had an archer behind this or like anything, any kind of range unit. Actually, I think archer is the only indirect unit on this map.
Yes, unless you count witch.
Okay, I guess Ballista is banned.
I no, Ballista is open actually, but yeah, I've yet to see a useful Ballista on this map.
Fair enough. Okay, MVAKM's just like, yeah, I just want more stuff. He just builds a sword.
And MVAKM has had the lead, a slight lead so far. It's nothing major, but he does have a slight lead.
Oh, but that's a nice play with your dragon. Capping that village in the south. Taking advantage. Do you know all three of those villages in that kind of like triangle are on road, so dragons are quite useful against them.
Yep. And we're like trying to get away with like sending the least amount of forces to the sides to get villages or defend them, while also like having the most of our forces in the middle, because that's like if a big fight happens and you have too much stuff on the sides, you can lose the game from that.
Right. I guess it's that kind of like nice tug of people playing chicken on the sides of like I just want to win without dedicating stuff to it.
Yeah. Like you see on top, I had a sword block a knight crit, and then the knight like basically covering it, which means the knight is six tiles away from the village it's defending, which is ideal.
Ooh, good pick off on that golem. And yeah, once again, your commander's in that position.
Yep, the golden tile.
Ooh, a nice pick off on that other golem. So that's both golems down.
Yeah, I decided to go for the fight here. Not sure I remember the reasoning, but I do. That's for sure. And yeah, now the hostilities have started, and we're gonna see a huge bloodbath, supposedly.
Well, some decent decisions here from MVAKM. Picks off a dragon without losing anything. Although, ooh, doesn't kill that knight. Lives on 1%, which Hex follows up and has to get that kill. It's actually not ideal. You want, if you are gonna go for that, you really want to do the Hex first. Because now you've got like a Valdor that's slightly injured and a knight that's like been dinged. Actually, 99% health knight is really frustrating because it means it can't guarantee knight crit villages anymore, I think. There's something like that. If you have like 1% health missing from a knight, it is actually very annoying in a bunch of reasons.
Yeah, although there is a chance that the knight will just get traded in this fight right now. And we're still playing the chicken game on the north and sending the rest of the things to the south. Hmm. Oh, I actually disengage on the south here. Oh, right, I remember. I remember my reasoning here was I'm gonna abuse the camping tile, and I have an archer behind it, like in the perfect position to like support that tile and crit everything.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Rise from your grave.
Now you're gonna see it's gonna be very awkward for MVAKM to actually fight this, even though he has more units around.
Yeah, like you just can't push into it. I mean, I guess like you just build up enough witches that you would just hex your way through, but that takes a long time to build up that kind of army. And he just like it's all clumped up in the center, Is he just gonna go for like a giant shove at some point? I guess that's my question, but we're gonna find out. Here we go. You're taking more stuff at the north, doing a little bit of trading here and there.
Yeah, and I mean, in the south, it really is like a paper castle, I guess. It's like the foundation is that one tile that's holding everything together. um,
Oh, and we're actually getting to the point where my PC is starting to lag because there's just so many units on the field.
Sorry about that. And we're still like both above 20 minutes of timer.
Yeah, this is definitely a map where it can stall out quite hard at points. You really need there's like I think there's a few commanders. I mean, I'm seeing Sedgeman in chat right now, and I actually do think Sedge is quite good at breaking positions in
Yeah.
this map.
Pretty sure we both banned Sedge right now.
Do you remember what the other bans are? I'm assuming Sigrid got banned.
No, Sigrid isn't really ban worthy because it's like if you know how to defend, you don't lose to Sigrid.
Okay, I do remember there was a very brief period in the meta where Sigrid was
Yeah.
like people were just really struggling against Sigrid.
Yeah, I mean, I brought out the Sigrid strat and then everyone was trying it, and then until they figured it out, it was the Sigrid meta. And I'm proud of that. But right now, MVAKM is actually going around the tile where Wulfar is because he doesn't want to deal with it. So he actually chooses to go on unfavorable terrain over having to fight that tile.
Yeah, that's rough. Because I mean, you're looking at like archer crits on some of this stuff. I guess if the knight goes down, then oh yeah, knight's gonna go down. Then yeah, that witch is gonna follow. Ooh, this is not looking good. And I guess like the one thing MVAKM has going for him is that he like had a knight crit lined up on the stronghold, but oh, it's just like not gonna be long for this world. It's actually so hard to like push past the center on this map.
Hard to tell like who's got the advantage in this fight, to be honest.
My money's on you right now, but you know, I'm basing that on the end of a turn. I think it was Mori that said it, where like you can tell a game is even when both players feel like they're losing. Because you always feel like you're losing at the start of your turn, and then you make your opponent feel like they're losing at the start of theirs. Ooh, good. Wow, that dog crit actually killed, even though it was on 89%. I hadn't realized dogs were quite that powerful.
Had this like knight and spear force to the north that I can't really attack into right now.
Yeah, and ooh, wow, Wulfar is really taking a beating.
Yep.
I know you're talking about that, like kind of like indefense or unattackable square, but like he's attacking it. He's actually doing quite well. I guess the trick is to just throw night crits into it.
Well, Commander heals for like 500, so I'm pretty okay with that.
Fair enough. Ooh. Oh, the dragon comes close to going down. I guess like witch hex follow up. Ooh, suicide kill off the dog.
Yep.
Ooh, Wulfar doesn't heal. Interesting.
Can you guess why?
Because you're gonna win this turn? Would be my guess. Ooh, yeah, mage suicide. Oh wow, actually Valdor's open on 3 tiles. And oh wow, that's a lot of overkill as well. A nice lethal setup there, Saikoya.
Yeah, and that's also part of the dangerous tile is that. I mean, the camping tile is that if you do attack into it, you have to be near dangerous terrain as well.
Yep. I mean, you know, beaches are like the tile where you don't really want to put your commander next to just because of, you know, things like dog suicide, sword suicide. I think you suicided a mage in at one point.
You don't want the commander to be on the beach or next to the beach.
Yeah. Actually, I'd say it's more dangerous to be next to a beach a lot of the time than on one. But actually, I mean, being on a beach is also really dangerous too. Roads are probably yeah.
Yeah, well,
Roads are like you don't want to be on a road and you don't want to be next to a beach.
being next to a road can also be dangerous, although not as much as a beach. But you know,
There's always a dice roll though with someone going for a lethal on your commander when you're next to a road. So
not with a sword. Yeah, it
it's
is
like
a dice.
it's 70% chance, I think, something like that. But yeah, you take game one. Well played.
Yeah, I remember thinking I wasn't in a very good position before the lethal, but mainly because of that force to the north that was gonna overrun many things. Because the downside to like camping that one tile is that you can't be aggressive while you're doing that, you know?
Right.
Well, not on that side at least. Which means if he gets to win the skirmish on the north while I'm camping the south, he gets control of the entire map.
I'm just taking a quick look at the groove chart. So you actually didn't use groove. You held it the whole game.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wulfar was a damage sponge this game.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, the threat of Wulfar groove is often the more important part of it.
Yeah, also MVAKM was playing against it really well. All right, that one turn where I made a mistake up north with the knight, where I pointed that out. He actually defended against the mage in combination with my Wulfar groove from across the map. So that's really well done from him.
Well, that was game one. We've got some more games to go, more
Yep.
sets to go as well. I mean, maybe we have to break this into multiple streams because it's actually taking about an hour per set, and I kind of want to go eat. So I think we might finish up losers finals and then we'll do. No, we'll lose the semifinals and then we'll do losers finals and grand finals later.
Oh, and by the way, for another tidbit of context for MVAKM and I is last tournament I was the one to knock him out of the tournament. So
Oh,
yeah.
some
We also
extra deets
practiced.
there.
We practiced a bit together.
Alright, well, let's go into game two.